An unusual scenario, in which Donald Trump could become the first ex-president in U.S. history to be prosecuted, appears to be in the works. On Monday, barricades were set up in front of the Manhattan criminal courthouse as law enforcement agencies debated how best to safeguard the ex-president. If Trump is indicted for paying Stormy Daniels hush money, a number of questions remain, including whether or not he would be detained and when he would make his initial court appearance. Here's what to expect if the grand jury decides to indict Trump as the prospect of an indictment grows. Prosecutors in Manhattan are looking into whether Michael Cohen, Trump's longtime fixer and former attorney, paid Daniels $130,000 to keep quiet about an affair she claims she had with the president. To make a hush payment is not in and of itself unlawful, but legal experts have speculated that the former president may face accusations of manipulating corporate records. Trump said he considered the cash to be a retainer fee and reimbursed Cohen for it.
This is not revenge, right? What this is about accountability. I don't want to see anyone, including Donald Trump, indicted, prosecuted, convicted, incarcerated, simply because I fundamentally disagree with them. This is all about accountability. He needs to be held accountable for his dirty deeds.
Trump has denied having an affair, and his lawyers have attempted to depict him as a victim of blackmail. They claim the October 2016 payment had nothing to do with Trump's presidential campaign. If Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg determines that Trump actively participated in the fraudulently classifying of Cohen's reimbursements as legal expenses, then he may bring the charge. Even if found guilty, the charge would be reduced to a lesser offense. A connection to another crime is required to upgrade the accusation to the more serious felony level, which carries a maximum sentence of 4 years in prison. Cohen admitted to federal prosecutors that he had committed campaign finance fraud in connection with the plan. In citing a federal violation, however, Bragg's office, which prosecutes state offenses, would be relying on an unproven legal theory. Based on his findings, legal experts say Bragg could potentially investigate possible violations of state tax or campaign finance rules. Trump has long claimed that the inquiry is an effort to sabotage his 2024 presidential candidature, and he reiterated this theory on Monday, calling it the greatest witch hunt of all time. Social media post from Trump over the weekend suggested he will be arrested on Tuesday, sending shockwaves through the media. Then, in comments that some political watchers claimed echoed his appeals before his followers stormed the Capitol on January 6, 2021, he exhorted them to protest, "Take our nation back." Trump's lawyer, Joseph Tacopina, told the New York Daily News that despite the former president's threats, he will not refuse to surrender if he is prosecuted. Even though the former president currently resides in Florida, the hearings would be held in the Big Apple. Trump must first make a court appearance so that formal charges can be read to him. Trump's legal team would be informed of any impending indictment prior to the deployment of his security detail, according to a source familiar with the preparations. According to the source, if Trump were to face charges, he might arrange to turn himself in to authorities at a different location, similar to how other high-profile offenders have done. Standard practice indicates that Trump would produce fingerprints before being freed ahead of trial. However, it is unknown what adjustments would be made due to the exceptional circumstances of indicting a former president. The arraignment is the formal process through which a defendant enters a plea in a criminal case. Defendants in white-collar cases are often handcuffed when they enter the courthouse in Lower Manhattan. In New York, defendants facing felony charges must have their fingerprints taken after their arraignment. In some instances, law enforcement is authorized by state law to take fingerprints and mugshots as well. After those hearings are through, Trump would presumably be released pending trial. Until a defendant is proven to be a flight risk, They will be presumed to be released on their own recognizance under new legislation passed in 2019 in New York.
It has been 21 or 22 times.
So I met with the DA's office 20 times for interviews and then 2 times for grand jury.
Why are you cooperating so fully?
Because that was the pledge that I made when I stood before Judge William H. Pauley and I said that I will cooperate. And I didn't need a 5K1 agreement. I wasn't part of any cooperation agreement. Democracy is more important than anything. And I know it sounds hokey, but my goal is to ensure that truth comes out and that truth to power is told.